What's going on there, wrestling fans? This is ODC, it's me, and I'm here with a Raw. What's going on, everyone? This is ODC, it's me, and I'm sorry if I didn't ding over. I didn't hear the bell. Anyway, this is my Raw reaction, my WrestleMania 32 and NXT Takeover Dallas predictions. This is also my Raw results and reaction to what the fuck I just watched. I don't know. To start off, we get the segment that should have ended the show, which was Taker comes out, Shane comes out, they shoot a promo. You know, the Undertaker calls Shane Vince's bitch. They start fighting. They go to the outside. You know, they're fighting back and forth. Blah blah blah. Shane gets hit with a monitor, or does he get hit with a monitor? I can't remember. I think he goes to hit him with a monitor, but he throws it on the ground, and then Shane ends up hitting the Undertaker with a monitor, sets him up on the table, hits him again with the monitor, then jumps off the top rope and elbows him via old school Shane from the late 90s, early 2000s. This is the segment that should have ended the show. If you were trying to have some sort of build up, some sort of hype to get the crowd into the show, this was it. This was your opportunity. Why on earth you didn't end with this, I don't know, because I watched that boring shit that ended with Roman Reigns and Triple H. I don't know what that was. It was a disaster. Okay, but I'll get into that in a second. God. And I really don't mean to keep bitching about this, but this is just so poorly done that I have to, okay? I normally don't bitch this much, but this is really fucking ticking me off. I'm sorry for swearing so much, too. So if that's bothering you, I apologize. But this is the segment that should have ended the show. I'm pretty sure everyone would agree with me on that. For God's sake, I don't know why you would ever open up a show like this unless you're going to top it. So, I mean, the common logic would tell you that if you can't produce something better than Triple H or than Shane McMahon and the Undertaker segment in the beginning, where everyone's screaming "This is awesome," from there, no one screamed "This was awesome." They were screaming "You can't wrestle." They were chanting for RVD and CM Punk. No one cared. It's like all the wind was out of the sails for the whole show right after this segment. It was like, if you watch this segment and then you watch WrestleMania, you're probably better off, because nothing really else happened the rest of the show. I'm going to be honest with you. Why I sit through 3 hours of this, I don't know. But anyway, because I want to enjoy it. I do want to enjoy it, but it's just not enjoyable right now. I don't know what's going on. What is this? Get this out of here. Okay, so Shane and Taker have the best segment of the night, the thing to watch. If you didn't watch it and you have a DVR, spoiler alert, anyway, I say I was doing the results anyway, watch that segment and don't watch the rest, because you're not missing anything. Next segment, we have, next thing up, we have Jericho versus Zack Ryder in a one-on-one match. AJ Styles comes out and he's chanting Y2 Jackass, Y2 Jackass. Zack Ryder gets the roll-up pin, 1, 2, 3, upsets Jericho. Jericho immediately gives Zack Ryder a code breaker right after, and then Jericho at the beginning of the match, I believe he said, what was it? Styles came out and said, "I want a match for WrestleMania." Then Jericho was like, "I'm never going to give you a match," and then AJ cost Jericho the match. Therefore, then he wanted to give him a match. So I mean. He went on to say, "I'll never give you a match," to "I'll give you a match all of a sudden because I lost to Zack Ryder." I don't know. Maybe I don't know if they're trying to insult Zack Ryder, because I actually personally like Zack Ryder. I think he's a good talent. They just don't do anything with him. But that's a different story for a different time. So moving on, Jericho gives him the match that we all knew was going to happen. I don't know why it took a week before WrestleMania to announce this, but okay, there you go. To me, if I were booking it, it would be a 2 out of 3 falls match. And this whole time for the build-up, I would have had a best out of 7 match or I should say, a 2 out of 3 falls at WrestleMania, or a best out of 7, and the final match, the 7th match leading into WrestleMania. That's how I would have booked it. That's my story. I'm sticking to that. Next, we have Kofi versus Alberto Del Rio. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Alberto Del Rio. I have all of his action figures. I am a huge fan of Alberto Del Rio. They have done nothing with this group. I don't know why they're at WrestleMania. I don't know why they haven't disbanded them. The League of Nations is absolutely atrocious. No one gives a shit. They're the League of Losers because no one cares. Anyway, it's Alberto Del Rio versus Kofi Kingston. I can't talk right now. I don't know what's going on, whether I'm dehydrated or I'm just so upset from watching this crap that I can't talk. But I apologize. Anyway, moving on. Kofi defeats Del Rio with a roll-up. 1, 2, 3. There's constant interference from the outside. And, so there it is. 1, 2, 3. The New Day leaves. Jonathan Coachman comes out and does a promo saying that the ESPN is going to be at WrestleMania. At this point, I have this shirt that says, "Welcome to Tatooine." I wish I lived on fucking Tatooine at this point, just to get away from what I'm watching. So then it's going to be the New Day. Well, I'll get to that in a minute when I do the WrestleMania stuff. Kofi goes over Del Rio. Moving on. Charlotte and Becky. Because I want to get through this Raw stuff as fast as possible so I can get all my thoughts out. Charlotte versus Becky. Charlotte goes over due to outside, or I think interference of some sort. I can't remember. I forget. This is a 3-hour show. I'm trying to absorb everything. Nothing really big here. There's some interference from Ric Flair, and it cost Becky the match. I don't really care about this. It's going to be a triple threat. We all know that. I don't really know if you should have put over. See, now if Charlotte's going to go over in this match at WrestleMania, I would have put Becky over in this match because you got to make your baby faces look strong going into the match and make it look like Charlotte's got the deck stacked against her. But whatever. What the fuck do I know? Next, we get one of the worst shit I've ever seen. Kane and the Big Show versus the Social Outcast. Why this is on Raw, I have no idea. Why? I don't know. I understand that this is for the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, but for God's sake, thank God it only lasted I think about less than a minute. This match, I think it was a no contest, and then everyone from the Battle Royal ran out, and they were all fighting each other, and then Kane and Big Show cleared the ring. Okay, moving on from that shit show on to the next shit show, which was Triple H and Stephanie come out. They shoot their promo. They're saying, I don't know, maybe Triple H was watching videos on the internet. I have no idea, but he must have gotten the idea that no one really gives a flying shit about the WWE Championship match, which I don't think anyone does give a shit. I don't give a shit. I'm sure the majority of people don't give a flying shit about Roman Reigns versus Triple H at this point because everyone can't stand Roman Reigns at this point. And nothing against, and I want to make this clear right now. I don't hate Roman Reigns. I hate what they're doing with this guy. They don't know how to book this guy. They need to turn this guy heel, just like The Rock, okay? When The Rock was a babyface, everyone hated him. They were screaming, "Die, Rocky, die," okay? As soon as he turned heel, boom, he went over. I don't hate Roman Reigns. But right now, the guy, doesn't have the mic skills. He's not ready, okay? From what I've seen in the ring, he's still not ready. I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm going from what I've seen. Maybe I'm blind. Call me a blind person. I don't know. But from what I've seen, you're doing your lariats, you're doing your punches, you're doing your Superman punch and a spear. That's all I've seen. Samoan drop, excuse me. Anyway, I don't want to get too off kilter here because I'll go on a rant and I won't stop. Triple H and Roman have a segment. Roman Reigns comes out in the most awkward way I've ever seen someone come out. I mean, if you have a feud with someone and he's talking all this crap and this guy's going on and on in the ring, wouldn't you bolt to the ring instead of just kind of casually strolling? First, he's walking as soon as he comes out. Then he's like casually strolling, and then he starts this awkward, like lethargic jog to the ring, and finally gets in the ring. I'm like, this is one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. This is one of the strangest buildups I've ever seen between these two. It almost seems like it's just not natural at all. That you can just tell that this is Roman doesn't like the position that he's in. Triple H is trying to make it seem like it's a bigger thing than it is. We all know Roman's going to win the match. You're not confusing anyone, Triple H, by saying you're going to go over in the match and that this is the most important match of WrestleMania. It's not. No one gives a shit about this match. Don't try to sell me on the match because I don't care. Okay? Everyone cares. The only match that anyone gives a shit about that has to do with the main event is Shane and The Undertaker because it actually has some stakes. Okay? No one knows who's going to win that match. Therefore, people are intrigued. Everyone knows how this is going to go. Roman Reigns is going to win, and people are going to boo the hell out of him. That's how this is going to happen. And people booed him when he came out, and people booed him at the middle of the segment, and people booed him at the end of the segment, just so you know. Very strange crowd tonight, too, in Brooklyn. I was expecting much worse, and they were actually docile tonight, somewhat. But I'll get to this. Triple H is in the ring. He's trying to sell this long-winded promo of how this is the most important match and how, when Roman Reigns attacked him 4 months ago and put him through a table, that it lit the fire underneath him and he found his passion again. He found his obsession, he said. He was obsessed with the WWE title. Obsessed with being the best. Don't get me started with that. Anyway, so he's going on with this promo. It's really just, it's like, don't stop trying to sell me on this. You guys haven't cared the last month about this feud, and why should I give a shit now? Because it's 6 days before WrestleMania? I don't care. So Roman comes out, and that, like I said, that weird lethargic run, I don't know what that was. It was very awkward. I don't know whether he's trying to do this like creepster intimidation factor, like I'm stalking you thing, and it's not working. I don't know who's telling him to do what, or who's giving him direction, but they're giving him the wrong direction. I kind of feel bad for the guy. You can kind of tell in his face that he's not happy. Anyway, Roman beats the ever-loving tar out of Triple H. He runs out of the ring. They run to the back. Boom. On to the next segment, which is... where did I go off? Oh, you know what? I skipped. You know what? I goofed. Kofi and Del Rio came after this segment. Anyway, moving on to the next segment, which is Triple H and Roman Reigns for the second time. Like, I need to see this again. Triple H, or what was it? Roman Reigns is having an interview. And then, Bubba Ray Dudley comes out and says, "Oh, you want more? You want more?" It's like, didn't he kick your ass in like 30 seconds on SmackDown? Or Raw? Whatever the hell that was. I don't know. So he baits him. Devon and Bubba jump him, and then Triple H comes out and jumps him. All three of them jump him. Where is this going? I don't know. It's like they're just trying to force as much as possible down our throats so we get the point that, okay, this is a feud now. Great. I don't care. This should have happened a month ago. I don't give a shit. So, it ends with Triple H holding the title over Roman Reigns' face and then smashing his face on the title and saying, this will never be yours, blah, blah, blah. Oh, but it will. And we all know it will. So, moving on. Next, we have Callisto versus Connor. Yes. Callisto versus Connor from the Ascension. Why? Why do I care? This is a squash match. Callisto wins. Ryback comes out. They stare at each other. I don't care. They're gonna have a match. There's not really that much of a build up for this match. I don't think anyone cares about this match. I'm not expecting it to be a good match. I'm pretty sure no one else is. I don't care. Next, we have Brock Lesnar comes out and Paul Heyman shoots a really good promo like he always does because he's the most consistent guy in WWE. Shoots a great promo talking about, doing his consistent Paul Heyman thing, coming out and talking. Brock Lesnar's there, shaking his arms, doing this, hopping around, shaking his arms, shaking his shoulders. Dean Ambrose comes out. I'm trying to fast forward, get through this as fast as possible because this is, I know you're bored and I'm bored too. So, Ambrose comes out and doesn't say a word. He comes out with a wagon, a radio flyer wagon. I don't know. He comes out with a wagon nonetheless, and it's got his, his signature on it, Dean Ambrose, and he strolls down with the wagon. It's got nothing in it, and I'm like, well, why does it have nothing in it? What the hell is the point of this? Then all of a sudden, conveniently, by the way, this is what I was talking about, common sense and logic. Here we go. He comes out with nothing in the wagon. So what does he do? He circles around and goes on the commentator side, lifts up the ring apron, and Heyman and Brock are staring at each other like, what the fuck am I on this show for? Like, get me out of here. Ambrose lifts up the apron and starts going through weapons that happen to be under the ring. God knows I don't know why logically they would ever be under the ring. I'm not saying that this has never happened before because it has. I know there's tables and ladders and other horse shit underneath the table or underneath the ring, excuse me. But my point is why not just already have that stuff in the wagon instead of going through this awkward, I'm going to go underneath the ring to get weapons now? I don't know. I don't get it. For me, if I was doing the segment, I would have had him all of the stuff already in the wagon, throw it into the ring. They brawl for 2 seconds. Ambrose grabs Barbie, the barbed wire bat, grabs Barbie and swings at Lesnar. Lesnar evades, and boom, there you go. Quick segment. This was just awkward. He walks out. Ambrose walks out, doesn't say a word, picks all the stuff that he wants for his weapons for WrestleMania, and then leaves. And that's it. Okay, moving on. Next, we have a shitty shit show. We have a Emma versus Paige match. Emma has been on NXT for the last, 5 to 6 months? Why is she on Raw? I don't know. Why is she facing Paige that hasn't been on Raw in over a month? I don't know. Emma wins due to Lana interfering, costing Paige the match that I don't care about because I was walking my dog at the time. All the, 10 divas or 9 divas are in the ring brawling just because I really give a shit about that. 10 divas are in the ring brawling, and then the big reveal. Who is going to be coming out to save the day, ladies and gentlemen? Who's it going to be? Could it be Bayley? Holy shit, could it be Asuka? Oh my god. Who could it be? It's fucking Eva Marie. And just before the segment, let me just say this. Just before the segment, just before the shit show came out, that's why I call Eva Marie the shit show. The waste of time. My wife goes, "Oh, Bailey's going to come out. Great." No. As soon as she came out, she goes, "Who the hell's that?" And I'm like, exactly my point. No one knows who the hell she is because she hasn't been on TV and God knows how long. She's been in NXT and can't get over. She was on the Raw roster, couldn't get over. She was on SmackDown, couldn't get over. She was on Superstars, couldn't get over. She was on Main Event, couldn't get over. This broad sucks. Why is she even a part of this? I don't know. You could see no one was happy about her coming out. It's like no one knew she was in the match. Literally, no one told her that, Eva Marie's going to be in the match. So now we have a Total Divas team versus Team Lana. Great. Can't wait for that. Can't wait to take that fucking bathroom break. Let me tell you. She got booed worse than Roman Reigns. And Roman Reigns was booed out of the building at every single segment. Okay? Let me just tell you that. Okay, next we have a 6-man tag. Kevin Owens, I actually thought this was going to be a good match. And it's to promote the IC title 6-man ladder match, which I'll get into how I would have booked that, by the way. Kevin Owens, Stardust, and The Miz versus Sin Cara, Dolph Ziggler, and Sami Zayn. This could have been a decent match. The crowd was just deflated at this time. They just got finished watching Eva Marie in the ring, for Christ's sake. They probably wanted to go blow their brains out. And I wouldn't have blamed them, because I would have too. So no one's into this match the entire time. Literally, the whole crowd is chanting, "This show sucks." I heard CM Punk chants. I heard a chant for Rob Van Dam. Like, this is not good. I felt really bad for these guys in the ring because I actually respect the majority of the people that are in this ring or in this match. Kevin Owens did his typical heel, old school heel fashion. Wouldn't get tagged in. When he tagged in, he'd do like one punch or one kick and then get the hell out of the ring. I actually kind of liked that. That was cool. Ziggler was actually, hyping Sami Zayn by doing, ole, 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 chants with the crowd. I'm not sure if anyone picked up on that, but he was doing that. I thought that was pretty funny. Like I said, it was at this point of the show, I think people had enough. I think they were either, I don't know whether they were just probably hungover from watching this shit, or they were just, watching other things on their phones. I don't know, but they were not into this match at all. And lastly, I'm sorry, I didn't say who won. It was Sin Cara, Dolph Ziggler, and Sami Zayn. I think Zayn got the pin with Stardust and The Miz leaving the match because Kevin Owens wouldn't tag in the whole match. Kevin Owens gets pinned. So, moving on to the last segment of the night. And I was like, okay, so how are they going to end this fucking show tonight? I was like, maybe they'll have another Undertaker segment. Maybe they'll have a Vince McMahon, Shane McMahon segment. I know they had one earlier, but I would rather watch another one of their segments from another Triple H and Roman Reigns. But no, we get another Triple H comes out and they're talking about the same old shit again. Roman Reigns comes out again. Why do we need to see this 3 times in one night? I don't know. Why? I understand you're trying to build this thing up, but you're 6 days before WrestleMania. Maybe you should have thought about this 2 months ago. And I don't want to hear the excuse that Roman Reigns was hurt with his pussyfoot injury, his nose. You shouldn't have got surgery. I've had a deviated septum for over 10 years. Jesus Christ. So Roman Reigns comes out, and it's just a I could care less segment. They're fighting each other, and then all of these baby faces and heels come out. And I thought this was really strange. Because normally when a bunch of baby faces come out and a bunch of heels come out to break up a fight or something like that, usually the baby faces hold back the baby face and the heels hold back the heel. It was reversed. And if you watch it in the start, all of the heels are holding Roman Reigns down or holding him back. And then all the baby faces are holding Triple H. And it seems like they almost didn't realize it. And then they were, as soon as it clicked with everyone that, oh shit, we're holding on to Roman Reigns. Well, let him go. And they like almost, they basically like let him go because they realized what was going on, because it was one of the most awkward things I've ever seen. And my wife agreed with me. She was like, that was really weird. She's like, I don't think I've ever seen that before. So they break up the fight, all these wrestlers come out, they break up the fight, then Triple H goes to the back and then nothing happens. I was like, wow. This is it. Like, there's no going back from here. Like, they're all in with this card. They are all in. I gave this Raw a 2 out of 10. This was atrocious. There was nothing here except for Shane versus Taker. Nothing on this show was good. I'm sorry. Not even the 6-man tag. There was just nothing. All the segments seemed forced. It didn't seem natural. It didn't seem like anyone was fighting for anything. Even Brock Lesnar, as Dean Ambrose is leaving, he's smiling and smirking. What the hell are you doing? I don't know if people give a shit anymore on this show. I really don't, because it doesn't seem that way. And I know I just started doing these wrestling videos, but this has been going on for a long time. I mean, guys, this has been really bad. This has been really just a tough 4 months to sit here and watch this shit. So, like I said, the way I would have booked this was Triple H and Roman Reigns. Let's just get that shit right out of the way in the beginning, because I don't need to see that ever again. They have one segment. I would have went through the filler matches, which were nothing great. I mean, we had Jericho versus Zack Ryder, Kofi Kingston versus Del Rio, Charlotte versus Becky, Kane and the Big Show versus the Social Outcasts, Callisto versus Connor from the Ascension, Emma versus Paige, and the 6-man tag. This is terrible. This is dog shit. Nothing. This is terrible. This is 2 out of 10. And that's me being generous. Okay, moving on. Well, so if you didn't watch Raw, don't watch it, because you didn't miss anything. It's nothing great except for the Shane and Taker in the beginning. Watch that for the first 15 minutes, and then go shoot a figure review, go to the store, walk your dog, take a piss, take a shit, whatever you want to do. Do that instead of watching Raw, because it was just all downhill. Okay, now I am going to go over. I'm sorry for all the swearing and the theatrics, but I'm going into WrestleMania. I'm going to do all my predictions because I want to get this stuff done before the show. So I'm going to do first I'm going to go through the card, and then I'm going to go through my predictions for the card. Okay, first I will do Well, Takeover Dallas is Friday. Or should I do WrestleMania 32 first? You know what? No, I'm doing WrestleMania 32 first. To me, NXT Takeover Dallas is my WrestleMania this year. There are better matches on this card, and there are better storylines on this card than any of the WrestleMania matches, including Jericho and AJ. I don't care if you disagree. That's what I think. So I'm going to do WrestleMania 32 first. Then I'll do NXT Takeover Dallas. Okay, here we go. And if you don't know about NXT, start watching it. Watch it on the WWE Network Friday. I believe it at 6 o'clock. I think it is. I can't remember. I'll post the date for NXT Takeover Dallas. You do have to be subscribed to the WWE Network though, so that's kind of a thing. Anyway, WrestleMania 32 pre-show. We have the Diva 10-woman tag. We have Eva Marie, Paige, Brie, Natty Neidhart. Sorry, I'll just call her Natalia because I know how people are nitpick the shit out of that when I say their full names. And Foxy versus Emma, Lana, Summer Rae, Tamina, and Naomi. I don't care about this match. I refuse to watch this match. No, thank you. But I have to pick a winner, and I mean, holy shit! I guess I'm just gonna go with Team Lana. There you go, Lana. You got your WrestleMania 32 moment, even though it's in the fucking pre-show. There you go. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. This is part of the pre-show. It'll be live on USA. You guys can check out both these matches. I wish instead of a 10-man Diva tag, they had an actual match that I would enjoy watching. I don't know. My prediction is Kane might win because Big Show won last year. Cesaro won the year before. Kane hasn't won. He's probably near the end of his career and wants to win the Battle Royal. There you go. That's my pick, Kane. If Big Show wins, I don't care. I really don't care about this Battle Royal. It seemed like they were trying to make it a big deal when Cesaro won to kind of bring up new talent, and they gave up on that by letting Big Show win last year. Like, that needed to happen. Who gives a shit? So my pick is Kane will win, even though I think like someone that could actually use the victory, like a Tyler Breeze or someone new, should win the match. Tyler Breeze should win the match. It could do something for him, make him at least a little bit relevant, be like, make people, wonder who the hell this guy is, since it's going to be on the USA Network. But no, they'll go with Kane because that's what everyone wants to see. Okay, moving on to the regular card. Now we have the Usos versus the Dudleys. I'm going with the Usos all day long. They've been kind of feuding back and forth with their tables match, or I'm going to put you through a table. No more tables. I'm just going with the Usos because that's if Roman Reigns is going to win this night, which I have him picked, and I'm pretty sure everyone knows Roman Reigns is going to win, then I'm sure that the Usos will win this night too. And the Dudleys are the veterans. They'll put over the young guys. New Day versus League of Nations, 4-on-3 handicap match not for the tag team titles, but it's for ultimate supremacy. What the fuck does that mean? What does supremacy mean? Aren't the tag team champions the supreme ones? So shouldn't the titles be on the line? I don't quite understand this. This doesn't make sense to me. To me, every WrestleMania, every single WrestleMania, every title should be on the line. I don't give a shit what anyone says. Every single title should be on the line at WrestleMania. It's the biggest show of the year. It is the most important show of the year. You have to showcase every single champion. It is the most important thing to do. The title should be on the line. I don't care if it's a 4-on-3 handicap match. The New Day has been a 3-man tag for the whole time. Since they turned into the New Day, since they established the New Day, they've been a 3-man tag. We all know this. When you see WWE Tag Team Champions, it says The New Day. It doesn't say Kofi Kingston and Big E or Big E and I digress. It says The New Day because everyone knows that it's 3 of them. The title should be on the line. I'm picking the New Day. There's no way the League of Nations is going over. And on top of that, just a little notation about this whole New Day versus League of Nations feud that they have going on. This isn't a feud. It's not a feud when the New Day just kicks the shit out, ever-loving shit out of you every single time you guys have a match. They've won every single match. I don't think one League of Nations match or one member on the League of Nations has won a single match against a member of the New Day. So it's not a feud when you get your ass kicked every time. Trust me, I know. I'm a Buffalo Bills fan, and we get our asses kicked by the Patriots every single fucking year. It's no longer a rivalry. That's what happens. New Day's gonna win. There's nothing on the line. There's no stakes in that match, so I don't know if I really give a shit. Moving on, we have Callisto versus Ryback for the U.S. title. One of the worst build-ups I've seen. I don't care about either one of these two. Callisto is not a very good U.S. champion. They haven't booked him properly to become a good U.S. champion. I don't care about this match. I have Callisto going over Ryback. It makes the most sense. If Ryback goes over, good Lord, good luck with the U.S. title. It's going to turn into a piece of paper. That'll be what it's worth. A piece of blank paper. So, oh, God. They just done nothing with Callisto. I understand, like, when John Cena had the U.S. title, and I don't understand why they can't do this with anyone else. When John Cena had the U.S. title, he had the U.S. Open Challenge. Every single champion, it should be used like the TV title. Every single U.S. champion should have to defend it weekly. Turn it into a TV title and have them defend it weekly and have a time limit even, if you want to do that. Do it 15, 20 minutes tops. And you could even do a dusty finish. No one wins. Time ran out. Sorry. At least it's something different. At least you can then differentiate between the IC title and the U.S. title. The U.S. title is meaningless. It's been meaningless. It doesn't even need to be on the roster at this point, unless it's being defended weekly. That's what I think. Callisto will win, and I don't care. IC title match, what for me, I would have booked. Oh, no, you can't do that. Anyway, the IC title ladder match. It's a 6-man IC title ladder match. Kevin Owens, The Miz, Sin Cara, Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, and Stardust. This sounds like a really cool thing, right? Sounds fantastic. What I would have done instead of this, well, you know what? I'll just go through the winners and the predictions, and then I'll go through how I'd book it. Anyway. Kevin Owens should win this match. That's my prediction. Next, we're moving on to the Divas 3-woman, excuse me. The Divas title match, triple threat. I originally had Sasha to win this match, but I think to build the rivalry right, I would book Charlotte to win. And I know a lot of you probably will bite my head off for saying this, but if you want to do business right, you have Charlotte win, and you build a feud. The next pay-per-view, you book Sasha and Charlotte one-on-one. None of this Becky Lynch bullshit. Have Becky do something else with someone else. Enough with her. It should be about Sasha and Charlotte, and have them go at it. I have Charlotte going over in this match. I originally had Sasha. Knowing the WWE, they'll probably put Sasha over. I think it's too soon, so I picked Charlotte. Next, we have Brock Lesnar and Dean Ambrose in a street fight. I guarantee that the Wyatt family is going to get involved in this. I have Dean Ambrose going over. Not cleanly, probably, but he'll go over in a street fight against Brock Lesnar. Next, we have Triple H versus Roman Reigns for the WWE title. I don't know what else to say about this. Roman Reigns is going to win. There you go. That's my pick. Shane McMahon versus The Undertaker in a Hell in a Cell for control over Raw. A lot of people are one way or the other. They're either like, there's no way Taker's going to lose because of what's on the line. And then other people are like, well, there's going to be this, they're planning on, there's rumors that they're planning on doing a brand split, this, that, and the other thing. For me, I think it makes the most sense to have Shane win. I know a lot of Undertaker fans will be upset with that. I like The Undertaker, don't get me wrong. This isn't going to be his last match. Even tonight, he said, this isn't my last match. This isn't his last WrestleMania match on top of that. So I wouldn't worry about that. Okay, this is all part of a storyline anyway. When The Undertaker's ready to retire, he'll choose the right person to retire him. Right now, the streak is ended. It doesn't matter if he loses again. That's the way I see it. So for me, I would have Shane go over. This way he gets control of Raw. And I have a theory of what might happen. I know I think I said it in a video a couple weeks ago, or maybe about a week ago. There's going to be some sort of interference. And if Shane goes over, he's not going to go over clean. Someone's going to get involved in this match. I know there's guys like JD from New York that said Shawn Michaels should be the guest referee and cost him the match. It cost Taker the match, and this way he has his revenge from being retired. There's a lot of theories going out there. There's a lot of tons of different theories, like Kane getting involved. I know there's a lot of people saying that Kane should come back and get involved, and it'll bring back, nostalgia from the 1997 Hell in a Cell. For me, what I think, since this is the last match, and I've told you all my predictions at this point, what I would do is, since Finn Balor and whatever the hell they're going to be called, the Bullet Club, Bulletproof, Balor Club, since they're making their Raw debut the next night, this is what I would do, okay? They interfere in the match. They cost Taker the match. And they beat him unmercifully. Okay? Shane wins control over Raw. The next day, he reinstates The Undertaker. Before he reinstates The Undertaker, he brings out the Balor Club and says, this is my influx of new talent. These are the guys that deserve their spots. These are my guys. Because if you guys remember weeks ago, Shane McMahon said, I plan on bringing in new talent, and this is not going to be the same old SHIT. I don't know why I'm spelling it out. Shit. This isn't going to be the same old shit over and over again. I want to bring in new talent. I want to bring in my guys, and these are his guys. Okay? So he brings in, Balor comes out, and then he says, Undertaker, I'd like you to come out too. Reinstates The Undertaker. Now you have a feud between Finn Balor, a huge name coming from NXT, a great talent. Guy's got a great look to him, a great gimmick, everything. Everyone has so much respect for Finn Balor. Now you even have a gimmick match. You have The Undertaker versus the Demon. And on top of that, granted, Finn Balor's a brand new guy and probably won't deserve to go over on The Undertaker, but since he has the Balor Club, he now has that right to go over on The Undertaker. They can cost him the match. We can have a feud with The Undertaker. Granted, I know he's a part-time wrestler. I know he only wrestles at WrestleMania or a couple shows like was it SummerSlam, but you could set up a feud right after WrestleMania and have people have a huge pop. People are really invested, and then not even have the match until SummerSlam, and that would work. You could do that. So that is my theory for what I would do for the Shane McMahon Undertaker Hell in a Cell match. And then you move Stephanie and Triple H to SmackDown. Whether you do a brand split or not, I think is irrelevant at this point. A lot of people think it won't work. I see their points. I get it. If it does happen, whatever. It's a chance for guys like this to get over, to be showcased, because they're doing nothing with this poor guy right now. I feel bad for him. And I'm not just a Tyler Breeze mark. Don't worry about it. It's okay. I just happened to get this figure today, so I was, anyway. Moving on. How I would book WrestleMania. I'm going to go through it. The Usos should go over on the Dudleys. They're the younger guys. I feel like, if they have a good match, which I don't think anyone gives a shit about this match because there's nothing really big on the line. If anything, I would have booked this as a tables match and been like, well, you know what, Dudleys, since you don't like a tables match, I talked to Stephanie and they gave us a tables match. And this way, they don't want to give the crowd tables. Now they're in a predicament where they have to use the tables. So I would have made this a tables match and made this as interesting as fucking possible because no one gives a shit at this point. Next, this is very simple. The New Day versus Legion of No Ones, as I should call it. The Legion of Nobodies, because no one gives a shit about them. 4-on-3 handicap match. I would have made this for the tag team titles, and I would have made this an elimination tag match. Just to spruce it up, 4-on-3, you got handicap, you're stacking the deck against the tag team champions that have been dominant for over 200 days. That's how I would have done it. And I know there's a lot of, I'm not trying to make this too gimmicky the way I'm booking it, but the card is rough, and you have to spark some sort of excitement somewhere. Callisto versus Ryback. Now, this is tough. If I can't touch the card, this is how I'm doing it. I can't touch the card. I can't change it. But what I would have done is I would have switched the IC title ladder match with the US title and made the US title, since it has less meaning, made that a ladder match and maybe just influxed Ryback into that match. Now, I know I said I wasn't going to change the card. I'm not changing Callisto having a match, really, is what I'm saying. I am changing the match in general, which I guess is, I don't know, whatever. But this is how I would do it, okay? Since the US title isn't really that great, make it the ladder match. Even if you want to just do Callisto versus Ryback, I don't care. Do it as a ladder match, or you could have done Dolph Ziggler versus Callisto. That's just a thought, because no one wants to see fucking Ryback. No one cares. I would have put him in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal and had him win. If you want Ryback to go over, then put him in there. But as far as Ryback's concerned, I don't care. He's boring. Get him off my TV. Sorry, that other people say that, but I shouldn't say that. As far as the IC title match, I would have had that Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship match. Straight up just match. Just a match. A normal IC title match. That's all you need to start the feud. Okay? Kevin Owens goes over, obviously. He's got to go over. I don't care. And I would have had, well, let's say I changed the US title to a ladder match. I would have definitely put Dolph Ziggler in that ladder match against Callisto. Just two guys going out there and putting on a fantastic show. Callisto can go over. That's fine. Ladder match. US title. Bam. Got it. IC title. Regular match. Boom. Got it. Kevin Owens goes over. And one match I would have put in here, and I feel like he should have never went away from the WrestleMania card, is Money in the Bank ladder match. I mean, if you're going to do that and you want to push new talent, you want to show the audience that you're pushing new talent, have the Money in the Bank ladder match. Granted, I don't know who the fuck would win at this point, because the card, there's no one left to really win it. But granted, you could have someone new in there, have them built up for about a year, have them cash it in, and say, I want my WrestleMania match. Now you have a build up throughout a whole year. Granted, I don't know who it would be. The Miz? Oh, God, no. I don't know. Maybe I would switch out Ziggler and have him win. I mean, at least you got to have someone to get behind here, and it's not much. So, I don't know. Maybe Ziggler, and I would have put the Miz and Callisto together. There, I fixed it. Next, we have Charlotte versus Becky versus Sasha for the Divas title. I don't think I would touch this. I would leave this alone. If I did have to make a change, though, I probably would have made this Sasha versus Charlotte and had a better build-up going into this match, but I don't really have a big deal. It's not a big deal that there's a triple threat for the Divas title. It might actually be a good match. Brock Lesnar, and I would have Charlotte go over, and then that would spark a bigger feud between Sasha and Charlotte, and have Becky get pinned. So this way, Sasha has something to come back and say, well, I was never pinned. You can't beat me. Here we go. Now we have a feud. Brock Lesnar versus Dean Ambrose in a street fight. I mean, this is fine. You can keep it the same way. That's fine. I have no issue with this match. I would have booked Bray Wyatt instead of this, or maybe I would have booked Bray Wyatt to win the Money in the Bank ladder match. This way, now you have, for what I think, Bray Wyatt should have won the Royal Rumble and should be in the main event this year, but that's just me. It would have had a better build-up because the guy can shoot a promo and can work in the ring, but that's just me. So maybe I go back and I'll say Callisto versus Ziggler ladder match, IC title, Kevin Owens, Zayn, and then we'll do Money in the Bank. Bray Wyatt goes over, wins Money in the Bank. Brock Lesnar versus Dean Ambrose. Triple H versus Roman Reigns. Bray Wyatt wins. Cashes in Money in the Bank. WrestleMania is saved. We don't have to worry about everyone booing the shit out of Roman Reigns. Granted, Roman Reigns will be screwed twice in a row at WrestleMania for Money in the Bank, but Bray Wyatt should be the WWE champion, world heavyweight champion, excuse me, if it were up to me. Shane versus Taker. Like I said, I told you the whole spiel about Shane going over and why. That's why. Okay, now we're moving on to the real WrestleMania. I need to fan myself after sweating bullets from getting all worked up over Raw and how piss poor it was booked. Anyway, moving on. And like I said, don't heed my word. Everyone has their own ideas. And I'm sure some of my ideas are probably similar to other people's ideas. I'm not saying I have the best ideas in the world. But I'd like to think that I could book this card a little bit better than the WWE has booked it. Because there's a lot of matches I just don't give a shit about. But that's just me. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I get that. Like I said, my word is not law. It's just my opinion. If you don't like it, click on to the next video. NXT Takeover Dallas. And I even titled it The Real WrestleMania, by the way. Austin Aries versus Baron Corbin. Austin Aries should go over in this match simply because it's his debut. He should go over. I understand Baron Corbin is the younger guy. I think he's the less talented guy in a lot of ways. I'm just not a big Baron Corbin fan, to be honest with you. I just don't see. He looks generic. He looks like a guy that comes out and he's like this biker, hardcore dude. I don't care. I just don't care. Austin Aries should win this match. It'll probably be a good match because, I mean, you have a big guy versus a fantastic wrestler in Austin Aries. Next, we have, and I'm not going to be rebooking this because I love the way it's booked. The Revival versus American Alpha. American Alpha for the tag team titles. It sounded like Gold Dust there. Anyway, moving on. For the tag team titles, I think American Alpha will go over here. The Revivals had a good run with the tag team titles, and I think that they might get a main roster bump soon, even if it's not right away, soon should happen. And then we have Apollo Crews versus Elias Sampson. These are just two guys trying to make a name for themselves, and I think Apollo Crews will go over. I can't talk. Yeah, I can't talk. Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura. This is going to be a fantastic match. The next three matches are just fantastic. So I think, obviously, I think Nakamura will go over on Zayn. Zayn leaving NXT. He's in the main roster now. Nakamura just coming in. This is his debut match. He deserves a win. Bayley versus Asuka for the NXT women's title. You know what? This was a tough one to pick because I love both of these wrestlers. They're both really good. They're both unique in their own way. They can both wrestle. And I picked Bayley to win this match because I'm not really sure if she's going to get a call up yet. If I were the WWE, I would have called her up about a month ago. But I get it. They're trying to establish her run as a dominant NXT women's champion. So when she does get the call up, boom, she's right in the title hunt for the Divas title. And she better leapfrog a lot of girls for that title. I mean, I don't care. I don't really care who wins this match because I think it's going to be a fucking fantastic match. It might steal the show. It really might steal the show. But then you have Finn versus Joe. Yes. Finn Balor versus Samoa Joe for the NXT heavyweight title. I actually have Joe going over here because Finn is making his debut with the Balor Club the next day. Now, granted, lots of Kevin Owens made his debut on the main roster when he was still NXT champion. He could win this match, and they could have him go over. The only reason I picked Joe was because the build-up, I think it was a good build-up. It was a good, hard-fought number one contenders match with Sami Zayn. Joe's had a good build-up. I think he deserves the NXT title at this point, and I think no one more deserving to go over is Joe at this point. I mean, the guy's had a long career. He should be on the main roster if it were up to me, but as much as I am a huge Finn Balor fan, I love Finn Balor. I love what he's had a great title run. He always puts on a stellar match. He's always going to have good matches. But I think this should be Joe's time, especially with Finn going to the main roster. I just think that's the right thing to do when someone's going to leave. I know it may seem a little bit predictable, but when someone's going to leave, NXT and go into the main roster, they should drop the title before, I think. But that's just me. That's what I think. So there is everything. I have gone on. I don't even know how long I've gone on for. An hour and a half? I don't know. But like I said, my word is not law, but this is how I see these things. The WWE is in a turmoil right now, and I just want it to be better. The only reason I'm saying these things and I'm getting upset is because I want it to be good. I want it to be better. It needs to be better. I'm passionate about this. That's why I get upset. And I know you guys don't see this in my action figure reviews because this is, and you're like, well, you're Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. You're almost like, you're swearing a lot and you're doing this, you're doing that. The reason why I'm doing this is because when I'm passionate, this is just the way I talk. I'm not upset. I'm not mad, but I'm passionate. When I see something stupid happening, I want to fix it. So, and whether you agree that I fixed it or not is completely up to you. And that's totally fine. I get it. Everyone has opinions and everyone sees things differently. And that's the beauty of being on YouTube. No one's an asshole. No one's a faggot, or I don't know why people still use that term at 2016, you would think people would stop using that term, but the internet. Anyway, I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not the worst thing in the world. I don't need to be told to go jump off a bridge or kill myself because of the way I think. This is just the way I think. Anyway, I don't mean to get into the more you know segment. The more you know, ding. But I'm going to continue to do some more reviews like this. I plan on doing more pay-per-view predictions and reviews and stuff like that. I don't know if I'm going to do a Raw review every week. That's kind of especially with my work schedule, it's kind of rough. So I will be doing pay-per-views though, so stay tuned for that. And if you don't like wrestling, that's cool too. But I'm still going to be doing other stuff. And I know I have been doing a lot more wrestling stuff, but guys, just stick with me. I'm waiting for a lot of figures to drop. I'm still working through my Big Bad Toy Store unboxing. And so stick with me. I promise there's going to be more of what you like to see. I'm still waiting for the, Star Wars Black Series wave to drop. I don't know why it's taking so long, but I haven't gotten it yet. So like I said, I just picked up this basic Tyler Breeze. It's a pretty cool figure. I know it came out a while ago, but I didn't want to spend $18 on them. I got them for $10. So I waited. But anyway, that's going to wrap it up for this segment of my wrestling talk / Raw results and predictions for WrestleMania 32 and NXT Takeover Dallas. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm sorry for such a long video. If you stuck with me through this, this is for you. Because you guys are awesome if you stuck through this with me. I know I had a couple viewers, but thank you very much for watching. I always appreciate you guys. Please, and if you have a difference of opinion, let me know in the comments. We can have a nice discussion. I had a wonderful discussion with someone last week about Roman Reigns, and it didn't get heated. It wasn't horrible. Wasn't the worst thing in the world. We had a nice discussion. He thought his way, I thought my way, and that's all it is. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you for watching as always, and I'll see you guys on the flip side.